Hi, I'm Elissa Yancey with The Picture's Worth.
And I'm Michelle Toney with Learning Grove and Families Forward. Together with United Way of Cincinnati and Cincinnati Public Schools, we're excited to introduce you to a bridge-building, mind-expanding project called Widening the Lens.
Widening the Lens began with a really simple idea. How might we disrupt the negative narratives about Cincinnati's Black and brown youth, the kind that dominate headlines, sow fear, and deepen divides between us? How might we build community connections based on real talk and also real understanding? Community expert and then high school senior Passan Brown had an idea. What if we created a series of conversations led and hosted by young people in which they were partnered with community leaders, meeting face-to-face to learn from each other in real time? Not in a classroom, not in a meeting with an agenda set by adults, but in a space shaped and led by young people themselves.
And here's why that matters. Too often, the voices of young people, especially young people of color, either go unheard or get filtered, translated, or erased before adults ever hear what they have to say. But when youth lead the conversation, something powerful happens. People who might never cross paths suddenly have the opportunity to connect on a deeper than surface level. Assumptions fall away and appreciation takes root. And relationships begin to form, real ones, not performative ones.
Now, we know our city and our nation has generational divides, we have geographic divides, and we have racial divides. And the truth is, the stories we choose to share shape our world and can impact those divides in really tangible ways. They can either reinforce stereotypes and prey on our tendency to blame the other for society's challenges, or they can remind us of our shared humanity, the strengths, the hopes, and the aspirations that we have for brighter and more connected futures. One thing's for sure. Those divides will never close if we keep living in separate worlds and only hearing the stories told about each other instead of from each other. So widening the lens is one way we can begin to build bridges across those gaps through honest conversations, shared stories, and youth-led curiosity.
In each of our sessions with community leaders, students from Withrow High School guide the flow. They set the agreements, they shape the questions, and they help all of us see Cincinnati through their eyes and experiences. And what we learn from them is not just insightful, it's energizing. They're brilliant, funny, thoughtful, creative, and leading us with a kind of clarity and courage we should all be paying attention to.
The project is also fun. There's laughter, there's learning, there's surprising moments of connection that nobody could script. And that's exactly the point. When we widen the lens, we see each other differently. We make space for new relationships and new possibilities.
We can't wait to see what conversations and connections and actions grow from here. Welcome to Widening the Lens.
There were students from Withrow, and then we had some participants from the community. I was just really impressed by the leadership of the students and leading us through that conversation. No titles. Everyone was there representing themselves and their personal experiences. There was no authority kind of figure. We're just humans in the same room. It wasn't what I expected at all, but I'm glad that it turned out to be what it was.
These are smart, intelligent, and brilliant kids, and they have stories that need to be heard.
Everybody was authentic, and the ice was broken quickly. The conversation shifted from, rainbows and lollipops to, no, this is what we're really thinking. This is what we really need.
Let's have a conversation and be open and not feel fear to speak about everything. It's just an open floor to talk.
I did not expect for us to get as deep as we got today.
Get to hear what some of their fears are, some of their greatest accomplishments, and recognize that they're actually people who we are making policies for.
I think we do a lot of talking as adults, and I think we need to listen. And so I hope that they felt like they had stories that they could share that were heard.
The biggest surprise to me, and it actually resonated around the room with all of the kids, was the intensity of the gun violence.
I have little siblings, and I don't want my sister to grow up and to be scared to go outside or scared
For their life, and that was the first thing we were talking about.
They were afraid to go outside because of violence.
I am deeply saddened and moved by the number of young Black men and women who are
Always feeling unsafe, and you're always in fear.
Conversations like this are important because some kids may tend to experience these things but have no one to go to talk about it, or bottle it up inside.
They should walk away with thinking about us young Black kids and what we go through.
They're speaking freely. They're speaking from a place of just authenticity.
My heart's full with just seeing how determined these students are despite what they're up against.
Why isn't this everywhere? It should be in every industry. The industry sector should be coming into every school.
I hope that the students take away that there are people in the community and leaders in the community who do want to hear from them and that really care about them.
I think some of my peers would take away that they're not in this alone. They don't have to go through this feeling like there's no one to speak to. And they'll be willing more openly to share about what they're going through.
Some community members should take the action of being more present, showing your face, not just behind a news outlet or a social media post, but actually being there and being present. Letting the kids know that you're here, you hear them.
What do you want? What do you need? When you're listened to, how does that change your life?
Every adult should hear from especially young Black youth, around what's going on with them, what impacts them. It changes every day.
I hope that they take away with being encouraged and being able to walk away knowing somebody will be there to help them.
That session was engaging and exciting.
And we learned so much, and there's still so much more to learn. We're going to continue to widen the lens in other schools and communities around the region, and we invite you to stay tuned to learn more and look for Widening the Lens opportunities near you.